Modern engineering allows us to construct staggering megastructures and complex grids at an astonishing pace. We excel at designing the physical infrastructure, but in the rush to build, we often overlook the character of the builder themselves. That gap raises a critical question. How do you systematically engineer a highly capable technical professional who is also deeply ethical and socially responsible? This diagram outlines the I-Engine framework. It maps out a comprehensive, systems-based approach to solving that exact problem, integrating technical education with moral development. Looking at the top row, the entire structure is built on a specific Islamic worldview known as Tawhid. The core premise here is that technical knowledge and skills aren't mere tools for generating profit. They are a sacred trust granted by Allah. This logic shifts the engineer's primary identity to that of an earthly steward, or Khalifa, who is responsible for the care and maintenance of the planet. With that stewardship established as the foundation, we have to look at what specific values act as the fuel to drive all decision-making within this system. This section outlines the I-Engine's core principles. The first three letters demand integrity, excellence, and noble justice. These operate as non-negotiable baseline metrics for every action the student takes, ensuring honesty and fairness remain front and center. The rest of the acronym fills out the operating system: guidance through consultation, ikhlas, or absolute sincerity, noble character, and ethical accountability. Moving from abstract values to mechanical process, we arrive at the internal growth pathway, which dictates exactly how these traits are instilled into a developing engineer. Notice the strict sequential dependency shown by these arrows. Strong faith and the cultivation of noble character are mandatory prerequisites. You have to establish those before you can effectively seek and utilize technical knowledge. Once that ethically grounded knowledge is secured, it translates into external actions. The pathway pushes the student forward into technical competence, effective leadership, professional ethics, and ultimately, active community service. This sequence establishes a stark standard. Within this framework, a student achieving technical brilliance while lacking upright character is categorized as a systemic failure rather than a success. This row maps out the engineering learning ecosystem. It acts as the environment where the student's internal values meet the friction of the physical world. Foundational environments like classroom learning and laboratory practice force students to integrate their moral theory with physical safety standards and mathematical accuracy. The ecosystem then applies pressure. Design projects and industrial training expose students to real-world complexity, forcing them to navigate teamwork constraints and maintain workplace integrity under strict deadlines. It also pushes them far beyond raw engineering tasks. They must apply their skills to broader societal needs through active student leadership, research innovation, and dedicated community service. The university ecosystem functions as a rigorous stress test, ensuring students can maintain their ethical standards under the same pressures they'll face in their careers. All internal development and external stress testing leads to the final product detailed in Section 5, the Holistic Muslim Engineer. The framework tracks measurable professional outcomes, targeting competent engineers who are innovative problem solvers and sustainable decision makers. Professional success is inextricably linked to spiritual outcomes. The framework explicitly lists success in both the material world and the hereafter as concurrent requirements. This stems from the overarching goal, Maqasid al-Shariah, elevating engineering into a direct act of worship. It outlines 5 core elements that a holistic engineer must use their technical skills to protect: faith, life and safety, the intellect, wealth through economic justice, and the preservation of lineage and the environment. The I-Engine framework demonstrates that engineering is the active, deliberate work of safeguarding and elevating the future of humanity.